Today I'm going to be talking about one of the methods I use for using super glue to help keep a cut closed so it will heal faster. And let's see, this is the glue I use. This is Gorilla Glue brand super glue. And I like the Gorilla Glue brand of super glue because it's got an additive to make it a little more flexible. And when you're trying to get it to stick to skin, which is quite flexible stuff, having the glue a little bit more flexible helps quite a lot. I've also got 2 pieces of thread, and these are just long enough to give you, just long enough so that it's comfortable to try to use. And I've got some scissors, and I've got Neosporin, and I've got this is 90% rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle, and this is to help the super glue cure a little faster, and then also it helps keep the area clean. So this is the cut on my hand I'm gonna deal with today. This is partially healed already, and so it's healed enough right now where it holds itself kind of closed on its own. But if I spread my hand apart like that, it opens enough where it'll slow down healing. It'll heal fine without doing anything. It'll just do it more slowly. So I'm going to try to keep it as closed as I can. So what I could do is I could just put super glue on the cut. And if it's a really shallow cut, I'll just do that. But the problem is this cut is still deep enough where I don't want to trap stuff inside it. I want it to be able to get air and be able to bleed out any fluids it might get if it gets infected, you know. So I don't want to trap any infection in there. And you can see it's already a little red. So I definitely don't want to be doing that. But if it's a shallow cut and I'm able to clean it really good, then I would consider doing that. But in this case, I want something that'll hold it closed, but that won't cover it completely up. And by not covering it completely up, I'll be able to use Neosporin and keep Neosporin on it, and I'm not sealing everything in, and I'm just holding the cut closed. So that's the goal of today. And so I'm going to start with just getting a little tiny dab of super glue, and this super glue is quite old. There we go. So it just takes a minute to get it out. And so I'm going to get just a tiny spot there, and a tiny one right there. Very easy. And I'm going to take the thread, and I'm going to try to get it into the first pool without touching the other pool. And then I'm going to grab my other thread, and I'm going to get this other pool there, press it in. Alright, so they're both stuck in the bit of super glue and they're crossing. And so now I'll use a little bit of rubbing alcohol like that, and that'll help harden it and cure it. And then what I want to do is I want to pull, on this cut I don't really need to pull them closed very much. So let's see. So I'll just stick something on the thread over here and gently pull that closed. And then something over here. This will work. Oh no! That didn't stick. So I'll try this again. There you go. Another little dab. And it's not going to get stuck in this first puddle anymore. There we go. Get it in there. Rubbing alcohol. That side. Perfect. And then I can just press them into the super glue, and I can put another dollop on top on either side. Come on, just a little more super glue come out. There we go. There. Take the weight off. Put that so it hardens it. And it's still wet. It's just going to be hard enough to stay now. And I'm going to trim the thread off. And there we go. That is one stitch of super glue. And I just want to do one more. So I'll do a dollop right up here. A little more. Then one right here. Grab the end. Stick it in there. Try not to get it in this pool. I'll grab this thread. Stick it in this one. There we go. Oh, no, stay in there. There you go. Okay, that looks good. Spray it real quick to help cure it. And then put some weight on that one, some tension on that one, and try to line them up, stick them together. Like that. More rubbing alcohol. Take the weight off. That side and snip that side. Perfect. So there we go. I've got a set of super glue stitches, and what I can do now is I can get some more super glue around the ends, because this could be a little stiff. So as I move my hand, I don't want it to pry up these corners. So I'll just kind of spread it so it's thin and flexible. Perfect. And then I'll get the ends of the cut, which are shallow enough where I don't have to worry about trapping stuff. And I'll just cover the ends with super glue. And now you've got this whole middle section that's held together with super glue, but isn't covered up. And I'll put some more alcohol on it, cure it up. So now, what I can do is I can put the Neosporin on, put it on my finger, practice there. Perfect. And then I can go cut a bandage so that it fits, and I can cover this up with a Band-Aid. And these stitches, unlike stitches you sew into your skin, they're not extremely permanent. I've been using my hands quite a bit, so I've had to replace them every day, and they just eventually fall off. But it works really well in keeping the cut closed, and which is going to speed up the healing. And I think this is the last day I'm actually going to be doing stitches like this. I'm hoping by tomorrow it will be shallow enough where I can just cover it with super glue. And I might just do kind of tacks, like one tack in the center, so that it still has places to breathe. So there we go. Let me grab a bandage, and I can actually finish up with putting a bandage on it. There we go. Have a Band-Aid. Just take it off the thing. Now, because of the shape of my hand and where the cut is at, I actually have to trim the Band-Aids. Like that, about. And I can take these off and just put that on right there. There we go. Perfect. And that will hold me off until tomorrow at least. So there's several advantages to this method, I think. First off, if it's a significant cut, then where you would need stitches, but you're not able to actually get stitches, I think this would work really well. And it's also something you can do to cuts that are not significant enough to need stitches, but that would still benefit in how fast they heal by being held closed a little bit. So I had this cut on my knuckle right here, which was just like it was from cardboard. And because it's on my knuckle, it would stretch out and pull it open even though it was really shallow. And so in this instance like that, just having some super glue on it, just like that, was enough to keep it closed and speed up the healing for that. So something, so there's a lot of middle ground applications for something like this. But I thought this was a really cool way to keep your cuts closed. So in my car, I keep a first aid kit in it, and I always make sure I have super glue in that kit. So there we go. Super glue stitches.